Hi, everybody. It's Kristin Davis here. Hi, I'm in Vancouver. I'm here working. I'm really thrilled to be part of this Facebook Live World Tour for our campaign with refugees. Our main goal is to talk about some of the people that we've been able to meet. I've been very honored to be able to travel with the UN High Commission of Refugees to the refugee camps and meet a number of incredibly inspiring people and see the situations there. And I just want to tell you a little bit about them. And also that we have a petition called With Refugees. You can sign it by going to withrefugees.org. And we're going to present it at the UN to the UN summit that they're having on the refugee crisis that's happening right now in our world. And that's, of course, very important. And also what I want to say to you just as a person is that I'm going on a trip soon with the UN, and I feel it's really meaningful when we're in the camps to be able to say to people out in the world really know about what you're going through and care. And to me, when you're signing the petition, that's really what you're saying. You're saying, we may not be in the situation that you're in, but we are human beings with you on this planet, and we are understanding that you are having to flee from your homes and that it's no fault of your own, and we are with you. And I know that every time I've traveled with the UN, whenever I'm in a camp, they're so happy that you're there, that you've come to see what's happening, and it's so meaningful for them. And I'm not sure that everyone always realizes that they're kind of cut off from the world in a way when you've had to flee your home from violence, from persecution, from death squads, from not being able to feed your children and having to watch them suffer in front of you. It's a really dire circumstances that would lead people to have to flee their home and go to a refugee camp. So when you do go to see them, they're always so moved that you're there, which is so incredibly impressive to me. And I just wanted to tell you that as a person, that's how I see this petition is a very simple way to say we are all human beings together, and we are with you in spirit, even if we're not in your same situation. So I do have a few questions that I got through Facebook, and I don't have great Wi-Fi, so I'm not actually live. I apologize. But one of the questions that I got was, what inspired you to work with refugees? And I have a really unique answer in that I'm very honored and lucky that I've been able to travel the world through my work. And I started working on kind of female-based, uplifting work at home type projects all around the world, especially in places where people were living in extreme poverty. And through that work, I was able to be visiting Tanzania in 2011 when there was a extreme food shortage in the Horn of Africa. And I was with people who were getting emails about the incredible influx of people into the Dadaab refugee camp in Kenya. So we decided to go up because it was something that was unfolding. We happened to be there. And when we went to Dadaab, which is the biggest refugee camp in the world, there were more people arriving than could fit into the camp every day and be processed. There's a very elaborate processing. You're assigned a number, you're documented in every way before you go into the camp. And there were so many people coming in that they couldn't process everyone quick enough. So people were having to sit outside the gates and wait. And all the aid workers inside were taking food out to them because these people had just gone through the worst journey to get there, and were some of them in very, very dire need of water and food. So the aid workers from inside the camp were going outside the camp to take food and water and just basic supplies to the people who were waiting to get in. And the thing that really moved me the most was just the strength of the people, and how much they were helping each other. And many people, many women, had collected all these children along the way in the journey who had lost their parents. So it was very moving. And I really thought that I wanted to help. And I really thought that I was so thankful that anyone was there for them at all. And So being in Dadaab refugee camp in 2011 really did change my life in a lot of ways, and it changed my perspective in terms of what's going on in the world on a large scale. Every day, really, things that we don't know about, that we probably never hear about in the news, and then some crises like the Syrian refugee crisis that we do hear about in the news. And I just really wanted to try to do what I could to try to help the people who find themselves in these situations, because those people haven't done anything wrong, and they're just trying to take care of their families and live through the circumstances they find themselves in. So that's how I came to be working with the UN High Commission of Refugees. They really are the front lines in terms of being able to organize these huge camps that unfortunately people need. And then there's a lot of wonderful people who help and volunteer and work, and it takes a village, truly, and that's what we're creating, and that's what you're kind of virtually creating by signing our petition, is saying, yes, I may not be able to go, but I would like to say that I am with the refugees. I understand that they had to flee their homes to survive, or for their children to survive, and in spirit, I am with you. And I think that's a beautiful thing. It's one of the things that I find comforting when you do read the news and see how many really terrible situations are happening. You can say, well, what positive can I do right now to help the situation? And in this case, just saying, this is my name, and I am here with you on the petition with refugees.org is one way to help. And I find it really incredibly humbling and incredibly inspiring to be able to meet refugees, to hear about their stories. I've met people who have been refugees more than once in their life. I met this incredible man, John, who is teaching the children in Uganda who've had to flee South Sudan, and he is a refugee for the third time, and he received a secondary education in 2 different refugee camps he was in Kenya when he was younger, and then he returned to South Sudan, which is what he wanted to do when there was peace, a peaceful situation. And then when violence erupted again, he had to flee again. And his hope is that through teaching the young children about the history of the world and how things work and how things repeat themselves when you're not aware of what's going on, that he can help to change the future so that his country can be safe and peaceful again, and those children can go home to their own country. So that's his goal, and he was so strong and just so impressive. And I remember just thinking, I just don't know if I would have that kind of presence of mind and spirit to be able to do that if I had found myself being a refugee for the third time in my life. I also found so many young people. I met this wonderful woman, Fiona. She's only 18, and she had to leave South Sudan when she was younger, I want to say 15, and she had lost her parents, sadly, but her auntie had stayed with her, and she was able to learn how to be a seamstress in the camp and is now making a living and able to live in Uganda. She has her own farm, she has her own business, and she was just so filled with joy and such a wonderful inspiration of the resource that refugees can be to the country they might find themselves in. In this case, it was Uganda. And she was just so proud of the things she had made, of her farm, of the way she was able to feed her family. I also met a really just heroic woman named Sister Angelique in the Congo. I was traveling with the UNHCR. She had won the Nansen Award, which is an award that we give to refugees who help other refugees. And she's in a part of the Democratic Republic of Congo that you can't really get to. It's very, very remote. And she is just single-handedly committed to helping people there who have been kidnapped by the Lord's Resistance Army and have been able to escape. Sometimes they're pregnant, they don't have a way to take care of that child. She has created a business, it's a bakery, and they make the most beautiful bread and croissants in the middle of nowhere, and they are able to feed their entire community. And she has a beautiful farm where everyone is able to work and feed themselves and feed their children, and also give them ways to make money for themselves, skills, and also kind of create a healing environment so that they can recover from what they've been through. And she's just one example of so many people around the world who have found themselves in a very, very unbelievably violent and difficult situation and been able to make something very, very beautiful out of it. And I'm so thrilled to be able to help them. I find great joy in it myself. I'm always so inspired when I get home from a trip. People ask me, isn't it difficult? And of course, sometimes it is incredibly difficult to see what people are going through. But at the same time, you see those people having the strength to persevere, and it really inspires you to try to do more with your life. And that's how I feel. So I'm just here to relay a few of my experiences, and I hope you will join us and sign the petition with refugees. You can sign it at withrefugees.org. And just thank you for listening, thank you for being there, thank you to all of the refugees in the world for hanging in there, and we are with you. Thanks.